Hey guys, I'm your host Matt, and today I'm going to talk about should the Dolphins target their running backs more on the Matt Newton Football Show. The Dolphins have one of the fastest wide receiver duos in the history of the NFL. They are amongst the best in the league and are feared by even the best NFL defensive backs. Tyreek Hill is on a Hall of Fame track. He was voted number 1 on the NFL Top 100 by his peers, and he led the league in receiving yards with 1,799 in 2023. He is arguably the most dangerous player at any position in the NFL. And I say that to say the Dolphins should be throwing the ball to their running backs more.
What did he say?
As amazing as Tyreek Hill is and continues to be, he was not the most efficient receiver in yards after the catch for the Miami Dolphins. Now, everyone knows Mike McDaniel places a strong emphasis on yards after the catch.
Absolutely.
So throwing the ball to running backs more helps to accomplish what he already wants to do on offense.
The biggest thing for us is YAC. is YAC. So we want to YAC the heck out of teams.
Tyreek Hill was 3rd in the league and 1st on the team in total yards after the catch. While Tyreek Hill had 652 yards after the catch in 2023, he did it on 119 receptions for an average of just under 5.5 yards per reception. Meanwhile, De'Von Achane only had 262 yards after the catch, but he did it on only 27 receptions for an average of 9.7 yards per reception. Does this mean you do not target the most explosive player in the NFL? Of course not. You target him early and you target him often. But sometimes the safer throw can be even more efficient than the high-risk throw. And we'll understand why in today's film study. Okay, so let's take a look at this first play from the Dolphins at Patriots in Week 2 of the 2023 season. The Dolphins are currently in 21 personnel with 2 running backs, a tight end, and 2 wide receivers in the game. The Patriots are in a 3-4 look with 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. I want you to pay close attention to De'Von Achane, who's lined up on Tua's right. And on the other side of the ball, I want you to pay close attention to this linebacker who's supposed to be in man coverage versus De'Von Achane. Now as the play begins, you can see Tua Tagovailoa does a play action fake towards De'Von Achane. And as you can see at the top of the screen, both receivers are defended by the Patriots in man coverage. And at the bottom of the screen, the same thing. The Dolphins wide receiver is defended by the Patriots cornerback in man coverage. Take a close look at this linebacker. What he's doing is peeking into the backfield to see if Tua hands the ball off to De'Von Achane at the mesh point. If De'Von Achane receives the handoff, the linebacker is going to fill his gap responsibility and try to tackle the running back. If he doesn't receive the handoff, the linebacker is supposed to defend the running back in man coverage. But something interesting happens here. So at this point, the linebacker is either coached to abandon the running back and double the slot receiver, or he's freelancing it on his own. He's feeling that Tua wants to get the ball out quickly, so it doesn't make any sense to chase the running back into the flat when he wants to take away the quick throw that he anticipates Tua making. Now, Tua's first read is actually Tyreek Hill at the top of the screen. That's who he wants to get the ball to. But look at the amount of room that De'Von Achane gets in the flat. There isn't a defender within 10 to 15 yards from him, giving him a lot of room to work. And this happens often when teams play against the Dolphins. Linebackers often vacate their man coverage responsibility to the running backs and tight ends in order to get depth and take away quick passes into the seams. Now let's take a look at this play from the Dolphins' Week 4 game versus the Buffalo Bills. The Dolphins are currently in 21 personnel with 2 running backs in the backfield, a tight end, and 2 wide receivers split out wide. The Bills are in their base 4-3 defense with 4 down linemen and 3 linebackers. Now what I want you to pay close attention to is De'Von Achane, who's lined up in Tua's left. So as the play begins, you see Tua fake the handoff to De'Von Achane. And right away you can see the Dolphins' outside wide receivers are being covered in man coverage versus the Bills' cornerbacks. That would suggest that the Bills' 3 linebackers are responsible for man coverage versus the 2 running backs and the tight end. Now as the play continues, you can see the Bills' strong side linebacker goes to defend the running back coming out the backfield. He's also in man coverage. The two other linebackers are looking in the Dolphins' backfield, trying to figure out what the other running back and the tight end are going to do. Tua wants to get the ball to Jaylen Waddle in this passing window, but the linebacker is clearly in the way. That linebacker is supposed to be covering the tight end who stayed in to block. The other linebacker, who's supposed to be in man coverage versus De'Von Achane, who's at the bottom of the screen, is currently getting depth in the secondary. Now, as the play continues, you can see Tyreek Hill adjust his route to give Tua a passing window to get him the ball. Now, I want you to take a look at De'Von Achane here. He's completely alone because the linebacker who's supposed to defend him in man coverage is getting depth to try to take away Tua's passing window to Tyreek Hill. And if Tua passed the ball to De'Von Achane here, he would have a lot of room to run. And with De'Von Achane's speed and quickness, there's no doubt he can turn that into an explosive play.
You think we need one more? All right, we'll get one more.
So let's take a look at the play in this Week 3 game versus the Denver Broncos. The Dolphins are currently in 21 personnel with 2 running backs, a tight end, and 2 wide receivers in the game. The Broncos are in a base nickel defense with 3 cornerbacks and 2 safeties. Tyreek Hill is lined up at the bottom of the screen. He's Tua's first read on this play. When the play begins, you'll see the wide receiver in the slot run right up the seam, and you'll see De'Von Achane, who's lined up on Tua's left, take the fake handoff into play action. The goal of the play design is to get the linebackers to flow to their left. When they flow to the left, it leaves a window for Tua to deliver the ball to Tyreek Hill. Now when the play begins, you'll see Tyreek Hill locked up in man coverage versus the cornerback. And Tua Tagovailoa wants to fit the ball right in this window to get the ball to Tyreek Hill on that little skinny post. So the linebacker didn't flow to the left. Instead, he's getting depth to try to get into that passing window where Tua is trying to get the ball into. Now Tua can't throw this pass because it's very risky. The linebacker can possibly jump the route and intercept the football. If the Broncos were playing true man defense, you would expect this linebacker to cover De'Von Achane flowing out of the backfield and into the flat. But instead, he's getting depth to get in the passing window where Tua wants to get the ball. Now, as the play continues, you can see just how much depth these 2 interior defenders get. The middle linebacker is actually in man coverage versus the slot wide receiver. And that frees up the nickel cornerback to get into the passing window where Tua wants to get the ball to Raheem Mostert. And at the bottom of the screen, the linebacker is actually sitting in the window where Tua is trying to get the ball to Tyreek Hill. So effectively, both of those guys are being double teamed, and we still have 2 safeties over the top. Meanwhile, De'Von Achane is flowing into the flat with no one to defend him. And if Tua gets him the ball, he has plenty of room underneath to make a play with the football. And as it turns out, that's exactly what Tua did. He flipped the ball out there to De'Von Achane before the pass rush can get to him, and De'Von Achane puts on some of his signature moves to pick up 17 yards on the play. Throwing the ball downfield and getting chunk plays is awesome, but you can also get chunk plays on shorter passes with little or no risk. These are the kind of plays Tom Brady was known for, and it allowed him to win on virtually every down.
A lot of playing quarterback in the end is mitigating risk. And I think if there's an opportunity, like, for example, you could throw a ball into tight coverage and go, look, sometimes you just got to make throws in tight coverage. Or sometimes you can just throw the ball to a guy that may be a little bit more open and gain a few less yards.
That makes sense.
Tyreek Hill is still the most dangerous weapon in the NFL. Now, if Tyreek's open or in single coverage, of course that's where you want to go with the ball. But if you can get a significant amount of YAC from a safer throw, you can do that too. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.